Good morning, you guys. Want to jump on here really quick. I hope if you're in the real estate world, you're doing your prospecting time right now. But if you're not and you're on social media, or if you catch this later, I want to share a little story with you this morning that is fresh on my mind. Paul and I run a morning community called Rise and Thrive. We put this together, I don't know, probably a year or so ago. And the purpose of it is we meet on Zoom every morning. It's kind of like it started as like a power huddle for our real estate team to get them focused on what they should be doing in the mornings, get their mind right, get, tactics, role playing, all that stuff, all real estate related typically. And then, of course, as artificial intelligence has become like the main thing that people are talking about, and you better learn how to use it in your business or you are going to be left behind. Paul has become really obsessed with teaching it to real estate agents, and not just real estate agents, but all people, because you got to know how to use it, right? And if you find your unique ability, like God creates us all with unique abilities, and when you find, and we have several of them, not just one, and when you find your unique ability, you're crazy if you don't go deeper into that. And your unique ability is something that comes natural to you, that it's like you can learn it overnight, you understand it, you can teach it, you enjoy teaching it, and again, it's just something that comes naturally to you. For Paul, one of his unique abilities is the ability to understand technology, artificial intelligence, all that stuff. Mine is listings, real estate, data. I'm obsessed with data. If you pay attention to our story, you know that I'm constantly dumping data on people because I'm obsessed with it. So our Rise and Thrive community in the mornings is at 8:30 every morning Central Time on Zoom. And it's all of that related. It's artificial intelligence, it's data, it's real estate related. This morning, and usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're doing artificial intelligence. This morning, Paul was sharing a lesson and something for them. He goes over prompts. He creates prompts that you guys have probably never seen or heard of, and would definitely help you if you're in the real estate space, because it's where we're going. It's what people are doing already. And I say this because this morning he shared a story about Ryan Serhant. So if you follow Ryan Serhant, as you should, if you're in the real estate space, he's a badass. He's in New York. He's got, real estate shows. He's on TV. He's known for that stuff. He's a workaholic. He works his face off. He's earned every bit of his success. So we follow him. We've seen him speak. He's at Inman all the time. Love him. Great guy. So he shared this morning on his Instagram, or we saw it this morning on Instagram, his story about his $50 million deal that is falling apart, and he's trying to keep it together. And in his story, he shared that there are multiple Serhant agents involved. He runs a brokerage called Serhant. There's multiple Serhant agents involved in this transaction. It's a $50 million deal. All of a sudden, and you got to go to his page in case I misspeak some of the key points, but all of a sudden, the deal falls apart because basically the seller went to ChatGPT. They agreed on a $50 million sales price, right? Seller went to ChatGPT, says that he's got an offer of $50 million. Should he sell his property for $50 million? ChatGPT comes back and says, absolutely not, provides comps that support a higher number. Based on the comps, your property should be worth this. You should not be selling it for $50 million. So seller decides he's not willing to sell at their agreed upon price, the $50 million. At the same time, the buyer goes to his ChatGPT or whatever he's using, and he asks his artificial intelligence, similar question. I'm purchasing this property, at blank. I'm paying $50 million for this property. Am I overpaying for this property? And his artificial intelligence comes back and says, you are, and gives this buyer supporting data as to why he's overpaying and what this property really should be worth. Both of these, buyer and seller, were given supporting data from who knows what and where. I didn't go down that rabbit hole or reach out to see like, hey, where'd these comps come from? I just listened to Ryan's story. And of course, there's no context, like Ryan said, where this artificial intelligence is getting their data from. Because if you don't give it guardrails on where to pick up the data from, it could be picking it up from anywhere and likely not accurate. And we were listening to this. And so Ryan go to his story because he's updating people. So I haven't looked at the last update, but the last update that we saw this morning during our own Zoom was that Ryan said, seller is back on board. So basically Ryan talked sense into the seller. Like, number one, we love artificial intelligence, but it's not accurate unless you give it guardrails. And a lot of times it's still not even accurate. There are always factors with any data, with any value, with any of that stuff. There's gotta be a human touch on it, right? So Ryan put a update on there that seller was back on board and that the buyer has pushed their call till noon. And so Ryan said in his update, that's usually not a good sign, but he's going to keep everyone updated. So now that I've given you guys insight, remember New York's an hour ahead of us. So it's almost noon there. It's 11 there. Pay attention to his story. I say all that to say, in our morning community this morning, Paul was like, if in our real estate world, Paul has given our agents and everyone that is in our morning community these prompts that would have helped in that situation and maybe prevented that situation from ever happening if the agents there were using the prompts that were given to them. They could have had that conversation with the both buyer and seller prior to ever going into an agreement, so that had they gone to the buyer and seller gone to their artificial intelligence platform and asked those questions, they would have already known what the answer was likely going to be, because their real estate agent would have already guided them through that. In the real estate space, real estate agents, I'm talking to y'all, business is not like it used to be. I'm a real estate broker in Houston. I've been doing this for 23 years. I specialize in listings. I've listed hundreds and hundreds of homes. I'm in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of houses, from every price point to the pieces of crap to the millions. I know how to talk to sellers. I know how to run value backwards and forwards. I'm very comfortable in that, and I teach it constantly. But the way we've done business in the past is not the way we're going to continue to do business, and it's going to continue to evolve. If you're not being proactive in your approach to talking to sellers, to going under contract, to all things like this, you're crazy. And if you're going to try to learn it on your own, well, great. If you think you have the ability to do that, great. But sometimes you need to like really swallow your pride and be like, you know what? I need help in this area. I need to join a community that's going to teach me and be laser focused on teaching me just the things that matter. Because here's what I know. In the real estate space, if you're not focusing on listings and you don't know how to work with sellers, I don't know how long you're going to be doing this. It's been like drilled into me since I went to real estate school. Every person that I collaborate with, every top producer, everyone that's in the 1% club knows that if you don't work with sellers and you don't know how to work with listings, you're just a glorified door opener. Basically, you're not in any control of your outcome. You're not in any control of your pipeline. It's the ones that control listings, that are comfortable working with sellers, that can own that market, and those kind of conversations. Those are the ones that you continually see rising to the top always. But as we continue to progress through running value, going on appointments, we're using tools, always using tools. There's always tools that are given to us to enhance our ability to do our job. Artificial intelligence is one of those. The way that Paul teaches these prompts, our agents to use these prompts, and he creates these prompts and gives them to them. Our agents are leaps and bounds ahead of most of you guys out there that are not learning this stuff, that are not utilizing this stuff, and that don't even have a clue about it. For one, if you look at the data for real estate agents, like there's obviously a problem here when 95% of them are selling less than 4 homes a year. That's a freaking problem. You can't make a living on 4 homes a year. And what are you making? Like $19,000 a year? I don't know. You guys in the real estate space, I talked to Paul about it after we got off our community this morning. And I said, it's one thing that we teach it inside our Rise and Thrive community to our people. And by the way, you can join our Rise and Thrive community. We did open it up to the public. It's not free. It's only free for our real estate agents and our real estate agents with us at Realty of America. Outside of that, it's just a small fee, but you can go to joinriseandthrive.com to learn about that. But it's Monday through Friday, and it's 8:30 a.m. Central Time to 9:15, 9:30. It's real. It's not a video. It's not a script. You have no idea what's going to come out of our mouth. Neither do we sometimes either, because it's whatever is going on, what is relevant to the market today. Just like Paul got on today, he saw this thing about Ryan Serhant, and it prompted him, Paul, to talk about it and to teach and to remind our agents of the tools he's already given them, and to then use this example that Ryan, what's going on with Ryan. $50 million sale is a huge freaking sale. Imagine if that was you. Imagine if that was you and you were the listing agent or the buyer's agent on a $50 million deal. Do you think you might be a little bit upset if all of a sudden buyer and seller were like, yeah, we're not doing this, and then it became an issue, right? It's a lot of money at stake there. And it's irritating because it's like, seriously, you're going to go to ChatGPT and that's going to blow this deal? That's not okay. We're better than that. We're smarter than that, right? It's a machine learning, and it is smart because we're teaching it, but you're also smart, but you just got to utilize what's given to you. So I told Paul this morning, I was like, you have to, I want you to do a class for the public. We already do them on Zooms too, but we're going to do one for the public here in the greater Houston area very soon. We'll announce it for you guys free, because our passion is to educate you guys so that you're not left behind. You're not blindsided by things like this. So watch for that. If you want to learn more about how you really should be getting trained in the mornings, there's so many agents that are just lost out there. Pay attention to who you're paying attention to. There's a lot of fake people out there that don't have a clue what their life coaches and their blah, that's like, and their lives are messes. We have figured out listings. We've been doing it for years. We're very well known. Go to Google, go to anything, you see it. Paul is very well known for artificial intelligence. He speaks on it constantly, teaches it constantly. We're just trying to help you guys do better at your job and have an abundant life. So tune in, stay tuned, watch for our class that we're going to offer for you guys in the real world, in the real estate world, and especially the greater Houston area. And for those of you that are curious about the Ryan Serhant story, go follow him on Instagram so we can all see how this turns out. And then if you want to learn more about these prompts that we're using, definitely join our Rise and Thrive community. Go to joinriseandthrive.com. I'm Trisha Turner. You guys have an amazing day.